Let's talk about housing a bit more. I've told you how to find a place to live in New Zealand, and I've shared a few tips for renting in New Zealand. What I haven't told you is how much you can expect the cost of housing in New Zealand to set you back. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The cost of housing in New Zealand is extremely expensive, and for the most part, it is increasing every day. Average house prices where you plan to buy is going to impact significantly the price you can expect to pay. As a whole, the average price of a house in New Zealand has increased nearly 12% since this time last year. The national average is now almost $560,000. If you look at Auckland, the median price is near $1 million. Sure, you can move to the regions where it is more affordable, as people are being encouraged to do, but with that comes the cost of petrol, being able to find a job, etc. Areas close to Auckland are seeing price increases as people search for more affordable areas within driving distance of Auckland. Hamilton, for example, has seen an increase of 22% since this time last year. The average house price in Hamilton is now sitting at $460,000, up from $375,000. As you can see, the prices are increasing much faster than the average salary. For the record, I use the term affordable loosely. There really isn't anything affordable about the cost of housing in NZ. For the most up-to-date housing prices, check here. Interest rates. You've taken the time to crunch your numbers and figure out what you think you can afford to pay. Before you head to the bank, you need to know about interest rates in loan terms. Yes, you can get a 30-year loan to pay off your mortgage. However, you cannot lock in an interest rate for the life of your loan. Loans are floating, or they can be locked in for 1 to 5 years. Naturally, the longer you fix your interest rate, the higher the rate. Right now, the banks are slashing prices left, right, and center, much like the Reserve Bank, but despite all of this, interest rates aren't low to me . Remember, I'm from the States. My friend back home has a 30-year mortgage fixed at 2.1% interest. New Zealand has a special 1-year rate that is 4.85%. If that doesn't sound too bad, look at the numbers. Say you take out a loan for the amount of $500,000 for 30 years. If you have an interest rate of 2.1%, your fortnightly payments will be $864. You will have a total repayment amount of $674,124. If you take out the same $500,000 for 30 years with a 4.85% interest rate, we'll pretend you can lock it in at this amount for the life of your loan, your fortnightly payments will be $1,217. Your total repayment amount will be $949,388. That's right, you're paying back in almost double what you borrowed. The cost of an 8% interest rate is $1,692 a fortnight, with a total repayment amount of $1,320,208. Do you see the difference? It's huge. Also, don't count on the interest rates in New Zealand ever being what they are in the US or most other parts of the world. See the graphs below for more on that, and you'll also see an 8% interest rate isn't such a far-fetched idea. Images used with permission. Click here for the source. You may still be thinking housing is affordable in NZ, but the price and interest rates aren't all you have to consider. Most banks want a 20% deposit. Also, don't forget there's maintenance, homeowners insurance, utilities, and then there are rates. Note, if you are not a resident, there are other hoops you have to jump through, and you will be required to pay a bigger deposit. Rates. What are rates? Think of rates as your local property taxes charged by your council. Rates are assessed every few years, and they are based on the value of your home. For some areas, rates include water, garbage, and recycling, while in other regions or cities, it may not include anything. What can you expect to pay? In Hamilton, a house with a valuation of $500K will cost you around $2,200 annually. The rates do include wastewater, water, recycling, and garbage for now. I say for now because the council is working to make those easier pay, and no, the rates won't go down. In Auckland, you will pay around $2,000 annually for a house valued at $500K, and it does not include water or wastewater. Water is billed separately based on how much you use in Auckland. My advice is you're looking at property for sale, research how much the rates bill will be. Remember, rates aren't something you can count on decreasing either. They also are affected by the prices of the other homes in your area. Other things to consider: a lot of people get sucked into the trap of converting house prices in New Zealand to their home currency. There is something you must keep in mind when you do that. New Zealand wages are not going to necessarily be the same as you make back home. For instance, take New Zealand's house average of $511,000. Right now, that converts to $347,000 used. If you live in California, that doesn't sound too bad, because the California house average is currently $457,000. However, the average New Zealand salary is $55,000. That converts to $37,000 used. The average salary in California is $51,000. Compare the wages you will be making in New Zealand to what you make or would make in your home country, and that will give you a better understanding of affordability in New Zealand. Also, don't forget, when pricing up your future home, you will need to factor in the costs for a LIM report, solicitor's fees, valuation, etc. So there you have it. A few things to keep in mind about the cost of housing in New Zealand. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer them. Shares 21.